In this video, I show you my exact n8n workflow that turns simple Airtable rows into fully generated motivational videos using JSON2Video. No manual video editing required. Perfect for building motivational faceless YouTube shorts, TikToks, or an automated content channel powered by AI. Okay, so first I'm going to show you what we're building today. This is an example of the motivational video we'll be generating. Throw up on the screen. I'll just play a few seconds of it.
Every day, we stand at a crossroads. Unseen by the world, tiny decisions quietly carve the path toward the life we dream about loudly. It's easy to underestimate the significance of small moments. A habit formed, a kind word, a task completed, that ripple beyond their size to shape our destiny. Each choice, like a single brushstroke on a vast canvas.
Okay, so that's enough of that. So that is what we're going for today. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create an n8n workflow that will automate the generation of a motivational video just by adding simple text to an Airtable. Let me go ahead and show you the Airtable that we're working with today. So here's the Airtable. Here's the prompt, well, the simple text that I used to generate that video. Small daily choices quietly build the life you loudly dream about. And then the music was generated earlier, and a link to that music was added to the Airtable. Other than that, the image generation, the script, that was all generated using JSON2Video. So this is the service here that generates the audio, voiceover, the images, and I used OpenAI for creating the script. So from there, let's go ahead and move on to what we'll be building today. So I'm going to show you the high-level overview of the n8n workflow, node by node. So here really quickly, we have the Airtable trigger. So with this trigger, anytime you add a new row or update a row with a topic and then have a status of to do, it will continue and trigger the entire workflow. After that, it'll go to Airtable, where it gets the topic of the video from the newly updated row. From there, it will send that topic and I think the language as well to OpenAI. From OpenAI, it creates the script and all the scenes needed for the new generated video, and it will send that information to JSON2Video. This is where like I said, the voiceover will be created, the image generation, and the movie. So once the job has been sent to JSON2Video, it takes a while. So it's an async. This is an async function, so which means that it's not done linearly. So once you create a job, it'll send you an ID for that job, and then you just ping the JSON2Video API, and that will tell you when the job is complete. So this is that loop that will continually check the JSON2Video API status endpoint, and then it'll complete either when the video is done, whether it's when it's aired out. Otherwise, it just continues to run. So here's the loop where the JSON2Video API endpoint is hit using the job ID. It'll continue to run through this until either it's completed or it's aired out. Cool. So now let's go and do a step-by-step walkthrough each of the nodes. So just a reminder, you'll need an account with JSON2Video. You'll need an API key from that. You'll need an API key from OpenAI. I'll not go through how to get your API keys from JSON2Video and OpenAI, but I can create a video showing how to get those later on. So once we get into our n8n flow, let me show you this Airtable trigger. You would add this Airtable trigger, and in it you would connect your Airtable account. I will not show how to create this account now, but I can do that in a separate video. And this trigger will pull every minute, which means it will check this Airtable base and table every minute for a table that has either been created or modified. In this case, I'm going to look for a last modified value that's been changed, which means if you update a video, if you update a row in Airtable, it will trigger. Otherwise, if I just added created here and it checks this table, it will only trigger if a new row has been created. So because I want updated rows to cause this workflow to run, I'm going to use last modified, because last modified gets updated both when a row is created and when it's updated. So that's what we do there. Here I added the ID for my Airtable base, and then the URL to the Airtable table. So if I were to fetch test event here, you can see that it works. You can see this test row that it's taken from my Airtable. Yeah. The next node here, we have the Airtable read node, where it takes the Airtable record, does a search in my Airtable base, which in this case is called entertainment, and then from there it looks into the table called inspirational videos. So you'll see here in my Airtable base called entertainment, I have several tables, but I've told it to look specifically into my inspirational videos table. So from there, it will do a filter based on this formula. So here it says continue if the status column has a to-do value and if the topic column is not equal to empty or blank. So in this case, if a row does not have a topic here, like it's blank, or if this status is not to do, like say it's one of these, then it won't actually continue. It won't move forward. So that is there. Next, we have the ChatGPT or OpenAI node. This is the message model that we're using, message model. So like I said, you have to already have a OpenAI account connected using the OpenAI credentials. The resource here is text. Message and model is the operation. And then I like to use the GPT 4.1 mini. It's I think the most useful model, but the cheapest. So here's our prompt. You are an expert motivational copywriter and visual storyboard artist. Here I specify the goal, the scene structure. So in JSON2Video, movies are made up of scenes. So here I'm telling OpenAI, I'm telling the LLM how the scenes should be structured. So here there are multiple scenes. In this case, there'll be around 9 to 10 scenes. So I'm telling OpenAI how they should be structured. For each scene, I'm also telling it that the voiceover text should be a specific language. This language is defined inside of my Airtable row. And then how each of the prompts for each image, how each image should be generated for each scene. So here I have, if you generated enough images with AI, you'll know that hands don't actually look very good when generated with AI. So depending on the model, but I think most models are doing okay now, but this is a cheaper model, so it tends to to generate hands with 6 fingers. So I've told it to avoid generating images that include the appearance of human hands. It's something I like to add normally when I'm generating images. At the end, I'm telling it that the output format should be JSON. Also, as part of this, you should toggle on simplify output and output content as JSON. Great. So this is the prompt I showed you is the system prompt, and the user prompt here is just the variables that are coming from the Airtable. So here, like I have these variables that are topic and language, and I'm specifying it using the Airtable values here. So topic is equal to this JSON topic, and then this target language here will be there. You can also get it from here. Awesome. Next, we'll go to the JSON2Video node. This is an HTTP request node. It is a post request that will be submitting a post request to this JSON2Video API endpoint, v2/movies. Remember here that you need to add a header that has a name of x-API-key, and then this API key you'll get from your JSON2Video dashboard. This automation can be done with a JSON2Video free account. The only thing here is that once the video has been generated, you'll get a little watermark on the top left. Since I have a subscription, you don't see that watermark on the top left, but it goes away once you get your own subscription. In the settings here, this is where you'd get your API key from this URL. Awesome. So this is where the full generation is done in JSON2Video. Here is the JSON body that's sent to JSON2Video. You send the template you're using, and then these are the variables that get whose values come from your Airtable basin table. So these variables come from your Airtable. The voice name, model, image model, subtitles model, all of this stuff. So a bulk of the movie generation is done based on this template that JSON2Video is provided. Awesome. Then, like I mentioned before, the JSON2Video request to creating a movie is asynchronous. So it takes a little bit of time for the video to be generated, probably around 300 seconds. What is that, like 5 minutes? 2 to 5 minutes, something like that. So here is the loop that happens. First, it will, this is basically a wait. So it waits 15 seconds before it continues on to the next call. So here is the HTTP request node that does a get to the JSON2Video v2/movies endpoint. The important thing here is making sure you add the correct project ID. So this project ID comes from the JSON2Video endpoint response, the first one that you sent. You also need to add the same header that you did in the other JSON2Video endpoint request with, like I said before, the x-API-key and then your API key. Once that's done, we're using this switch node so that it takes the status response from the JSON that comes from the previous call. It looks to see if it's done, error, or it's empty. If it's any one of these, it will go to its respective pathway. So I've labeled them here so that it's easy to read on the workflow with done, error, and still running. If you notice here, once you click out, you'll see that done goes to this Airtable update node. If it's errored out, it goes to this stop and error node. And if it's still running, so if the status is still empty, it continues back, waits 15 seconds, and then checks the status again. So let's go into the Airtable update node. Here again, I'm using my same Airtable account connection. The resource here is record, update, again, the same Airtable base, entertainment, and then the table, inspirational videos. Here I'm updating the result column. So, and also the status column was done. So I get the URL from the JSON request, the JSON response. Once the video has been generated, I update the result column here, and then the result is something like this. You'll see the result here, which is a link to the generated video. Also, the status has been updated to done. Otherwise, if it's been errored out, you'll just get an error here. It'll send an error message. It will come from the JSON response, and it'll be added here. And then it'll complete, finish running, and then you can check to see what the error was, so you can fix that and move forward. Otherwise, like I said before, it'll just keep looping until it gets one of these two statuses, done or error. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. If you could please hit like and subscribe, it would really help out the channel. Otherwise, if you have any ideas or comments about any automations I should build in the future, please feel free to hit me up in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.